Welcome to charliesports.com, Monday Night Football Summary for September 29th. This week's we summarize the two games that were played. Game 1 had the Miami Dolphins beating the Jets 27-21. Dolphins Summary. Waller authors memorable comeback. It had been more than a year since Darren Waller stepped foot on an NFL field for a regular season game. It had been 708 days since Waller's last touchdown catch. Instead of simply suiting up and taking the field, Waller owned the night, at least in red zone situations, catching 2 touchdown passes, including a rather challenging, contested second scoring grab to power the majority of Miami's scoring production. Waller accounted for 2 of Miami's 3 end zone trips, tacked on 1 more catch and confirmed Miami's belief in him when he came out of retirement to play for Mike McDaniel's crew. Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill suffers a dislocated knee, taken to the hospital for evaluation. The Dolphins suffered what is likely to be a massive loss while earning their first win on Monday night. The injury occurred as Hill was being tackled by Jets defensive back Malachi Moore after making a catch along the sideline. The cart quickly came onto the field, and team trainers cut off his cleat in order to put Hill's leg in a stabilizer. Jets Summary. New York couldn't get out of its own way on Monday night. The Jets turned it over 3 times, starting with a Breelon Allen fumble on a play that appeared destined to finish in the end zone for an early 7-3 lead. Instead, the Dolphins punched the ball out, stopped the Jets in their tracks and promptly marched 96 yards over 15 plays, converting the takeaway into a touchdown and a 10-0 lead. That was merely the beginning of the Jets' mistakes, as they fumbled again on their next possession, and, facing a 10-3 deficit coming out of halftime, fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half, giving the Dolphins another great scoring opportunity, which they cashed in. The Jets' operation was a mess, their fundamentals disappeared, see, 13 penalties accepted for 101 yards, and despite outgaining the Dolphins by 104 yards, they only took a few brief moments of success back home with them to New York. New York has battled with some good teams in the first month, but Monday night was not one of those examples. Game 2 had Denver win over Cincinnati 28-3. Denver's Summary. Denver's offense steamrolls Cincinnati. Sean Payton knows he'll have to deal with some tumultuous moments with second-year quarterback Bo Nix, but that didn't stop him from loading up the Broncos' entire stock of ammunition and ordering them to fire. Nix embodied the gunslinger role Monday night, completing 29 of 42 passes for 326 yards and 2 touchdowns, and although he threw an ugly, and likely avoidable, interception in the end zone, that didn't overshadow the explosive night. Denver cleared 500 yards in the final 2 minutes of this game, rode a fantastic rushing night from J.K. Dobbins, 16 carries, 101 yards, dialed up play action off Dobbins' successes and torched the Bengals in a gleeful showing. Everybody got involved: Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims Jr., Troy Franklin, Evan Engram and R.J. Harvey each recorded at least 4 receptions. Payton had his full arsenal at his disposal and let it rip in front of a national audience, moving the Broncos back to .500 with plenty of emphasis. The Bengals Summary. The loss of Joe Burrow didn't torpedo the Bengals' chances of starting 2-0, but in the 2 weeks since, Cincinnati has resembled a sinking ship. The Bengals' offense packs zero punch without Burrow, their offensive line can't protect Jake Browning, the running game isn't consistent or leaned on frequently enough to take any pressure off Browning, and their passing game has generally been reduced to taking sideline shots to Jamar Chase or T. Higgins and hoping they win the 50-50 battles. On Monday night, even when they won those battles, they were often negated by penalties, another glaring issue with these Bengals. Cincinnati had 11 penalties accepted against it for 65 yards, highlighting operational dysfunction and constantly putting it behind schedule. It's clear the Bengals have little hope of moving the ball, especially against aggressive, carefree defenses like Denver's, and the frustration is starting to show in expressions of players like Chase. The glow of that 2-0 start has evaporated quickly, and it's hard to find the light of hope right now for this team. Thank you for visiting charliesports.com sports wrap page. We look forward to recapping again next week on this page.